All right, I'm just trying to get into a place where the lighting's good because I keep moving and it keeps changing. So, in preparation for wine down tonight, I went to Trader Joe's and Snoop Dogg has wine. So, we're drinking Snoop tonight. Thanks, Snoop. I'm really happy to support black businesses. Really happy that you bought Death Row. I will be listening on whatever platform is available for sale. So, I just want to make a really quick response video. It looks like some people are unpacking, specifically on the Hot97 show. They have a little snippet where they're trying to compare Kanye West to Eminem and basically talking about physical threats and harassment online and what is considered art and what is not. Now, I realize some of the kids, especially like black kids, I don't think that black kids understand the significance and impact of Eminem and like what exactly he did. So Eminem was like, obviously he's a rapper and obviously like he came up with Dr. Dre. And so like the hopefully if you watched the Super Bowl halftime show and you got an idea of song collaborations that he did with Dr. Dre, that was really foundational and new at the time because first of all, like there weren't white rappers. Like Eminem was like virtually the only white rapper and he was really good, and he was working with Dr. Dre, who's like incredible. Like if you just go back to the song like Forgot About Dre and like listen to what he's saying, he basically, so Jay-Z writes the song Forgot About Dre. I didn't know that, but he did. And it starts listing out Dr. Dre's stats. It's basically like Dr. Dre's resume about how he's the shit. So during this time when Dr. Dre's at like the top of hip hop, he starts working with Eminem, who's really good and white. Now, the thing about Eminem being really talented and white, he is also poor. Like, he grew up in a fucking trailer home with, like, a crack addict mother, and he had, like, a child with a girl who was kind of, like, you know, off the hinges and slutty, and then he has this kid, the Haley, and he starts writing, like, his songs were wild. Like, if you think the shit that, like, Kanye West is saying right now is wild, and you compare it to kind of, like, what Eminem was saying, like, I don't know, I've got to say, I think Eminem's sort of, like, threats and sentiment were way worse. They were way, like, Eminem, if you watch the video, like, Please Don't Call, the one with Ditto, that song is literally about him killing his, it's from a fan perspective, and I'm not sure if this actually happened, but it's about a fan who's so enamored with Eminem that he kills his wife because Eminem didn't write a letter back. Also, a lot of his rap songs, so Eminem, I think he was dating, I don't know if he was dating Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera, I don't know all of the shit that was happening, but Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera were two of, like, they were like the Rihannas, okay, of that particular time. And Eminem made whole diss tracks and music videos where he was talking about, like, fucking Christina, fucking Britney, fucking up their boyfriends, burning them, all type of shit. Like, and he made music videos. He went on MTV Awards with these songs and parodies, and he was acting them out on stage. Like, it was, like, funny, but he was also, like, he was pretty serious. It wasn't just art, okay? Like, Eminem was not like that art school kid who was trying to, like, pull out themes. He was literally just talking about the shit that was going on in his life in his head. So for people to talk about, like, Kanye West and say, like, oh, what he's doing now is, like, not art, and also kind of take him out of context, because, like, no, and I'm actually not trying to be like a supporter of Kanye West's stance in this case. I think that his harassment towards Kim is, like, a lot, and it definitely needs to stop. Like, it's a lot, and it should definitely stop. I don't support it in any way. I'm not saying that. I think that Kim's safety at this point is probably, like, really under attack. You know, it just really feels like he is spending all of his energy and resources consumed in her life, and he really needs to, like, move on with his own life, even though they have kids. And, you know, maybe having more family therapists come here and, like, mediate the conversations between them would be really useful, because him handling it on his own and her handling on his own and Pete stepping in, all these people are, like, stepping in, and everyone does have, like, a right to be there, and what they're saying is fair. It's just the problem is it's not working out for everybody else. Like, every time someone takes an action or does something, someone else gets hurt. So we can't take the blame off of everyone. Like what Kim was doing with TikTok and putting Kanye West's children on TikTok when he said no is wrong. Kanye West making a video about killing Pete Davidson, that's wrong. Pete Davidson sending out text messages talking about I'm in bed with your wife and taunting him is wrong. Like literally all the people who are stepping in this particular case are wrong. I mean, and I don't actually know if it's fair for anyone because, like, we're not a part of that family to come in and say, this person's more wrong than this person. It's like, it seems like a whole pot of shit right now. Everybody's in the wrong and everybody needs help. And, like, Kanye West is not more wrong than the other people. If Kanye West wants to make anger art about his feelings towards someone being with his ex-wife that he's still in love with, he does have a right to do that. Freedom of speech is real. We don't have to agree with the art. We don't have to like the art. That is how he feels. But also, this is what I'm saying, and this is why I want to introduce the feelings wheel in a real way. For people to be like, Kanye West is out of his mind, like, I don't know, are we serious right now? Like, because, yeah, there's some stuff, don't get me wrong, I think that Kanye West, but also everyone else in that circle could probably use therapy. And I think that's just the truth. Maybe Kanye West more than others, but I don't think that Kanye West is completely out of his mind. And the reason that I want to, like, contextualize this for you guys is because everyone can talk about what he's doing and rationalize it. So if you're able to do that and you understand what someone is doing and why they're doing it, that it abstracts the crazy part. Now you're just getting into a part where you disagree with what they're doing or you don't like it for whatever or you think it's wrong. But the crazy part is the misunderstanding. The whole point of calling the term crazy is about you not understanding why someone else is doing what they're doing. In this particular case, everyone knows why. Kanye West is infatuated with Kim Kardashian and does not want her to be with Pete or anyone else except for him. That is what the issue is. He has vocalized that and made it clear. He's sang songs about it. He's got up and talked about it. He wants his family back together. We can all have our feelings about that, but also this is not something that we haven't seen before. How many songs, rock songs, country songs, Drake in really reality chasing after Rihanna, have we not seen men completely infatuated with women and willing to do any and everything to get them back? We have seen this before. I don't know if we could call that like crazy. We just don't agree with it because it's harassment. True. But also, we know what he's doing and we know why he's doing it. So let's stop with the crazy. But also, let's really realize, like, all of the many things happening in Kanye West's real life right now that he is dealing with as a human. He lost someone very close to him, Virgil. What is this, in the last, like, year, right? And that had to do a lot. That impacted his business and fashion in multiple ways. His affiliation and sort of, like, idolization of Louis Vuitton, the brand, and the staff members there because Virgil is no longer there. That is a whole history and part of his life that is real. Now, we weren't there to unpack that, but that really happened with him. He also has lost his fucking mother. 2 albums are called Donda because Kanye West lost his mother and he is still processing, he is grieving off of the loss of his mother. That is not abnormal. That is a real part of the human experience. I think one of the problems is we are not familiar with seeing black men in a humanized form. So all the things that this black man who's in touch with his feelings is doing is so abnormal to everybody else. Oh, we don't know what to do. Oh my God, he's nuts because he's being a fucking human in the world. No, guys, he is like, we've seen white men, white women, even black women at this point, because y'all have seen me out here. Y'all have seen us being out here living. Kanye West, too, has the right to live and feel his feelings without you fucking agreeing with it. You don't have to like it. You can sit over there in a fucking corner and be like, oh, this artist's so mean. Just like I can go look at some of your whack-ass white artists coming out with shit, and I can be like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen on YouTube. This is awful, but you guys keep pushing it to me on MTV, and I'm like, this is bullshit. See how we all can have our feelings, and they all exist at the same time. And Donda 3 will probably come out on the Steam player, and we'll be able to hear more about, you know, hopefully he gets therapy or his continued infatuation with Kim. Whichever one it is, that's going to happen too. But for Ebro and Rosenberg and all these people to start to say, like, he's crazy, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, he's not. You just don't agree with it. So, Yeah, so this is and I'll like link this. This is the actual breakdown I'm talking about that happened, and it's with like Ebro and Rosenberg, and they're just sitting here, unpacking.
What Trevor Noah said. First of all,
They're talking about some things that Trevor Noah said, and go listen to it if you want to hear what they're talking about. I'm just simply making the point that they're gaslighting in this situation Kanye West's mental health, and I really wish that people would stop fucking doing that. Just be clear about what his actions were, how you felt about his actions, and how you think he could have changed those actions to fit your personal definition of reality or understanding. But what you should not do is simply say that he's crazy because you don't agree with or understand it. It is not his responsibility to explain to you or anyone his personal feelings and his personal fucking life. That's another thing that's really strange. Kanye West can say whatever he wants about Trevor Noah or Kim or Ebro or DL Hughley or whoever the fuck else. He can say it and he can feel it. It can be anywhere on that fucking feelings wheel. It could be jealousy, it could be happiness, it could be anger, it could be sorrow. Whatever the fuck he feels is real, and that's how he felt. And all of us can sit back and be like, it was mean, oh, he didn't consider kids' feelings, I feel this way and I feel that way. But here's the fucking reality. We aren't in this scenario. Like, we're not Pete, we're not Kim, we're not DL Hughley, we're not Kanye, and neither are any of those motherfuckers on Hot 97. Who the fuck are they to have any opinion anyhow? They're not affiliated with the family in any way. I don't see Kim calling Ebro or Rosenberg or any of those motherfuckers. Like, why do they care at all what's happening with this family who has nothing to do with them? They are also not mental health professionals. They aren't psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, emotional support specialists, nothing. They have a whole bunch of mental health shit they're dealing with in their own lives. Who are they to stick their fucking nose out into anyone else's business? They don't have any fucking idea. And then to go a step further and call someone else crazy with a situation they have never personally lived through. It's really easy to talk about what something is like from a third person perspective or from something you heard. This is why, I, for myself, am unpacking the film Master for myself, right? Because, I have certain lived experiences that correlate to that. Half the motherfuckers who have an opinion about, my mental health, my social relationships, my sexual relationships, where I've traveled to, who my spouses are, all this shit, they've never even had these experiences at all. They're talking about them from someone else that they know. Oh, well, 10 years ago, my auntie went to Cal State East Bay. Bitch, Cal State East Bay is not Harvard, okay? The LA Times is not the New York Times. We're not talking about the same thing. We haven't been in the same fucking spaces. We don't have, that's why, when I read that the woman who, wrote the story is from Yale, I was like, oh my God, this bitch gets it. And I did a whole talk about this 4 fucking years ago, where it was myself from UC Davis, from the University of California system. It was Camille from the University of Idaho system. And then it was Amina from Princeton University. We all talked about the differences in our experiences, because it's Princeton, UC Davis, UC Idaho, and then really there's a whole bunch of other schools which you guys are probably from that are even below there, or some of you motherfuckers who have never even been at all. So it's us up here having a conversation about the hierarchy of our experiences, and we're all black and female engineers, so we're already up here and you guys are all the way over there. And then another thing that I realized, there were no black men in this whole conversation at all. They weren't even there, right? It's just I don't even know. There were some black people, but I didn't. This is why I made that one title that was the Afro student group. Because it's this is supposed to be the allyship group, but I for sure didn't really have time to go. I went to 2 meetings, and now y'all saw I've got those 2 pictures from the 2 meetings, which is how I even know people's name. But in all reality, I don't even know the people that well. I just know their names, So it's just weird, because even that, and I'm only talking about an experience that was kind of shicey to me, and I had to abort. But just imagine, she lived through that shit for 4 years. I don't even know if she probably went to grad school there too, and had all of this shit to unpack, and we didn't live it. We don't know what really happened. All we know is what we assume.